Homeostasis is the balancing of all the metabolic activities of an organism in order to maintain relatively stable internal conditions. If any of the life activities get out of balance, the organism will not be healthy. Regulation is the control and coordination of all activities in order to maintain the balance of homeostasis. Because the environment around us is constantly changing, our bodies must continually adjust to maintain homeostasis. The changes that occur in the environment are called stimuli. Any stimulus in the environment produces a change in the organism, which is referred to as a response. This is known as the stimulus-response principle, which is the basic idea behind regulation. Stimuli in the environment produce responses in the organism. There are two types of regulation that can cause a response in an organism. Chemical regulation, which involves the use of hormones, and nervous regulation, which involves the transmission of nerve impulses. Plants are completely under the control of chemical regulation since they do not possess a nervous system. They use hormones like auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, and ethylene to affect responses to the stimuli in their environment. Auxins regulate cell growth. Cytokinins regulate cell division. Gibberellins influence various developmental processes like germination and flowering. Ethylene promotes the ripening of fruit. When a plant uses hormones to respond to a stimulus, it is called a tropism. Phototropism is a plant's response to light. Gravitropism is a plant's response to gravity. It allows a seedling to know which direction to send its roots and its shoots. Thigmotropism is a plant's response to touch. Thigmotropism is what allows these vine tendrils to wrap around the stick for support. All of these tropisms are the result of chemical regulation of hormones in the plant. While plants rely on chemical regulation alone to maintain homeostasis, other organisms are able to use nervous regulation. The ability of cytoplasm to respond to a stimulus is called irritability. Some unicellular organisms rely on irritability alone to respond to stimuli such as light or touch. Others, like Paramecia, have specialized structures like cilia, while euglenids have an eye spot sensitive to light. Animals possess nervous systems to conduct nervous regulation. The hydra has a very primitive nervous system called a nerve net, also found in jellies and sea anemones. The nerve net allows these organisms to respond to stimuli, however, there is no brain to coordinate actions, so responses are slow and generalized. Earthworms have clusters of nerves called ganglia. Nerves allow responses to be faster. Insects like grasshoppers actually have simple brains made of fused ganglia, which allow them to process stimuli in their environment. Nervous systems like those found in vertebrates are even more complex and allow for memory and learning. But that topic will be covered in the next lesson.